welcome to Coach Dave Academy. This is Suellio Almeida. We're going to see my lap with the Porsche Cup at Rudskogen. I hope I spelled it correctly. We're going to see the entire lap, and then we're going to talk about corner by corner. All right, so going into this first corner, we can brake relatively hard because we're going up a little bit. I'm actually going to brake at the 100, but it's not really the 100. My peak pressure is at the 100. As you can see, I'm actually starting to brake a little bit before that, and I reach my peak pressure more or less at 100, as you can see. Even increases a little bit more after that. And then downshifting to third, and you want to really cut as much as you can of this green here. Just make sure you don't touch the grass. I actually left a little bit of space here, as you can see. And then after that, you change direction in a way that you still have your left tires on the white line around here. So as you can see, this is pretty much the limit at this point. If you stay on this positioning more or less here, you gotta slow down, because the slowdown sensor is here, but it's not here. Here, you can actually have two tires on the curb, but 2 car lengths later, you have to have 2 tires on the white line. So if you want to be safe, you can just stay on the white line since the change of direction. Here it was very much the limit here, and then I actually go back, you see, to the white line, and this is more or less where the sensor is that will give you a slowdown if you stay for too long under on the outside of the white line. Then you wait for the car to rotate, then you get back on power to keep the car rotating a little bit. The car is going to start to be a little bit light, so you kind of relax your hands and you play a little bit with the balance until the car goes all the way to the outside. You can go a little bit to the having like that's half of the car on the white line, to the left of the white line, and then coming back and just clipping a little bit this dirt. That's why the dirt at this point is actually damaged, because a lot of fast drivers do that line. And then after that, for the next corner, you want to stay to the left a little bit, and then you start trail braking already. You don't want to brake hard on this corner. You're going to brake kind of like 45%, and then you're like just playing again with that balance, because if you brake too much and downshift too much, you get too much rotation. If you brake too little, you're gonna understeer later into the corner. You have to brake just a little bit with light hands to keep the car pointed to the inside a little bit, as you're gonna let the car go a little bit wide at this point, and then almost touching the white line here, and then finally coming back to the actual apex. So all this time, we're just slowing down, and the corner is closing radius. So by the time you finally get close to the apex, you get back on power, aiming to slightly hit this last triangle here, the white one. As you can see, I missed it just a little bit. Sometimes you can even hit this grass a little bit to get a good exit and bring the car as much as you can to the right. There's no time to be straight here, because you need to bring the car as much as you can to the right to prepare the next corner, and then you immediately change direction. A little bit of trail braking. Same thing, use all the green you can here. Actually, I left a little bit space. You get a slowdown if you slightly touch the dirt in this transition. If you slightly touch the dirt, you get a slowdown in all these 3 corners. So here, change direction. This was pretty much the limit here, very close to getting a a slowdown. At the end here, you can touch the dirt, the grass in this case. So a little bit, just don't touch this dirt here. This one you cannot. And then you change direction. Same thing, you want to completely use this one. I would say I even missed it a little bit, as you can see. You can use a little bit more and aim for this last white triangle here. As you can see, I did slightly use it, but I can probably use it a little bit more and have a slightly better line for the next corner. And then this next corner here, you're already carrying some speed. You're just waiting a little bit for the car to come back. A little bit of power, and then just because the grip of this corner is actually on the exit, and it's a quite long left-hander, so I felt like I had a little bit of extra room to accelerate just a little bit to gain speed, and then back to trail braking to keep the car rotating as much as I can to the left. And then here, on the second half of the corner, I have a lot of grip, so I'm going to accelerate quite heavily and use this curb here. This curb really makes the car rotate a lot, and then the car is going to have the best exit possible. And then here, it's okay if you touch the grass. Just be careful not to overdo it because you can get an off track. I don't really recommend it, but the fast line eventually will clip this grass a little bit with the right tires. And then for the next corner, initially you can brake pretty hard because this is a very compressed, this is a high compression while braking. So you can actually reach a little bit of 100%, but then immediately already kind of like releasing a little bit and trail braking heavily here to get back on power on the curb and allow the car to go all the way to the outside with light hands. Then here, don't be on this grass here because the next corner is to the left. You need to go to the right. So as you can see, I'm already letting the car run wide after this hairpin. You see how early I'm going to the right? Because I really want to use all this exit here. You can see left tires on the white line. This is not an off track. And then a little bit trail braking. Be careful with the third and second gears here because they can make the car snap under braking because of the engine braking. So just be careful. Light hands initially here as you brake. And then as the car slows down a little bit towards the apex, you can try and get more steering. More. Here, I left a little bit too much space, as you can see. I can use all this green without getting a slowdown or an off track. But if you do touch the dirt, you get a slowdown. And then you go all the way to the outside. Be careful here with this grass. It kind of pulls the car a little bit to the right. So just make sure you use it just that much, no more than that. And then you're pretty much using all the curve here to prepare for this left-hander. Then for the last left-hander, same thing. This is very, very, very close to getting an off track here, but it was not. So that's how much you can use of the green. And then you kind of like trail brake already. You don't want to brake hard in this corner at all. Just a little bit of trail braking. Very early first apex, and the car is going to go a little bit wide. Then back on power. I actually got back on power a little bit too early, so I had to brake again and then accelerate again just to make the car have the best exit possible here. And same thing. Look at how much I can use. This was not an off track. So it's all about track usage for this track. You really want to know exactly where the sensors are so you don't get punished doing a qualifying lap or you don't get any slowdowns during the race. So that's it. The lap time was a 1:20.4. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial and I will see you next week. Bye.